Good morning, everybody. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life, and today I thought I would share a day in the life video. It's going to be most likely geared towards homeschooling, I think. Sometimes I try to do some homeschooling videos, but our homeschool and our home life are so interconnected that oftentimes a day in the life you're going to see all of that homeschool and just home life and cranberry farm life and just kind of all the things. Okay, I've heard again in some comments that you guys appreciate the fact that I do try to be, my goal always here is to just be as real as possible. Now, obviously, if someone is having a major disagreement, I'm not going to share that on camera. Just know that major disagreements do happen between pretty much all members of the house at some time or another. But I don't show that on camera. Okay, this isn't like reality TV, right? Where we're just here for the train wrecks. But here's reality. Right there. Someone, I think their name might start with a P, was having chips for breakfast. So, and just left the crumbs here laying. Well, here we go. It's 9:15 this morning, and I did make a little list of some things last night that I wanted to get done today here. So on my mom list here, I would like to get down to the garden. I know I have tomatoes that need to be picked. Obviously water the flowers. I did get out and water them last night. I thought they would be okay, but they were super dry, so I at least got the ones watered on the patio. I do need to schedule dentist appointments. I'd like to make some banana bread. I would like to make scalloped potatoes, but guess what? I just realized I don't have any potatoes because I used them all up this weekend. Okay, I would like to pull out a freezer meal and do meatballs over egg noodles for supper tonight. What else do we have on here? What does that say? French toast and lawn furniture. All right, I do have some Texas toast that I bought. I actually bought it a while ago. Not a while ago, but a couple weeks ago. Emily and I were going to, I don't know what's going on there. Emily and I did a bunch of freezer meals, and we were hoping to do some freezer French toast. We'd never done it before, neither one of us. But I saw in, I want to say it was like a Taste of Home magazine or something, where they just made all the French toast up. They didn't cook it. They like soaked it in the egg, milk, vanilla, and cinnamon mixture, and then put it on parchment paper on baking sheets, popped it in the freezer, froze it like that, then put them into Ziploc bags, and then they could just bring out a couple pieces at a time, whatever you need, and just fry those up. I thought that would be really easy for the kids to be able to do, just to kind of heat up a pan, put a little smidge of oil in it, and then make French toast for themselves for breakfast, or I would do it too. But that day got away from us. Well, didn't get away from us. We were just making a lot of supper time meals, Emily and I were, and we did not have time to get to the breakfast ones we wanted to do. So I've honestly just been, well, I'll backtrack. My intent was the next day I was going to get to doing the breakfast ones, and then I was just going to give her half of it, but guess what? I never got to it. So I've just been using the Texas toast. I had bought 4 big loaves, and I've been making a lot of grilled cheese for us. We did do French toast one day, but I do have some more of it, and I thought I would do the freezer French toast, the caramel, I can't remember what it's called, caramel French toast. It's in my second cookbook, and I thought I would make 2 pans and give one to Emily and then one for us to keep here, and that would make like a great Friday lunch even for us if I didn't want to do it for breakfast. Anyway, that is on the list. And then lawn furniture. So I took all of the covers off of my lawn furniture. I washed them, dried them the other day, and they're just sitting in a laundry basket right now. So I would also like to get that on. But like I said, this is supposed to be a homeschooling video, and it is 9:20. So in our home, our goal always is to get started by 8:30 in the morning. So typically the kids get up, I get up, and we just kind of do our morning things. I have pretty early risers, so we're not in a huge rush to get things done, but they watch a little TV, do their morning jobs, and then our goal is to get started on school for 8:30. And Joe, you're ready, right? Are you ready for the day?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So Joe's been working on coloring. That's one of his favorite pastimes. I'm going to be calling him out in just a moment to do IXL. Nice. I like to hear that. I just heard the sound of a toilet scrubber on the side of the toilet, which means Sam is cleaning the bathroom, which he needs to do before he goes off to school. He actually started it on college this year, so that's a great thing. And Peter is also working on IXL, And Maria is over here working on her math workbook. She's doing, I think, money.
I'm down to
You're doing money?
85.
Oh no. So one thing with the IXL is that the goal is to get up to 100 points. You build points slowly, but you can lose points quickly. So if you get one wrong, it really drops you down. So anyway, Peter's been working. He's gotten up, how high did you get on this one?
92.
92 was your highest, and now you got one wrong. That's a bummer. Okay, well, I'm going to help you. I'm just going to make sure that you're on the right track, and we are going to get this up to 100 in short order, okay? Because I want you to move on to something else. So anyway, yep, he's working on IXL. Still going well. I like, oh, they don't show it on here, but I do like that they have the little video tutorials, right?
Yeah, it has it right here.
Oh, there is a little tutorial, but you know how to do it. You're just getting a couple wrong numbers somewhere along the line. Anyway, do you use the video tutorials? What about at the very beginning when you first start a new lesson? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah.
You would rather have me come over and explain it, right, than have to watch the tutorial?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what we're going to work on right now, and then in a moment we are going to start in on what? Prairie primer. And one of the things that we've been doing with Maria in her math book is if she gets 100 on one page, then we just skip the next page and we're going to move on because there's no point in redoing what you already know. So that's one of the benefits of homeschool. So I think they have just a couple more minutes left in their math. I'm guessing it's going to take those two just a couple more minutes, and I thought I would kind of get this cleaned up over here. We typically tend to clean up after we're done with school and get this all looking good. I don't really know what happened the other day. We did not sit at the table at all yesterday because we had our back to school day for co-op, and it was just a big full day of lots of fun and potluck and opening ceremony and everything. So anyway, we are working through the Prairie primer, and yeah, I just kind of go through it day by day. And I mean, for us, there's just no way that we could do everything that they have listed for one day. So we're just going to work through it. And as far as we get is as far as we get. But it's been really, really good. We are here. We're on day 3. We've been doing this for a couple weeks already. But anyway, we did the reading comprehension. I just check off what we actually do. So we did owls, although I realize we're not quite finished because they do need to write these 4 vocabulary words in their notebooks, and we're going to do that today. So it looks like today we're going to be moving on to learning about rust. We are going to be learning about guns. We're going to be learning about the mechanics of guns. We are going to talk about gun safety, which is, I mean, we'll talk about it today, but honestly for us, gun safety happens every day because guns are used in our home, that is for sure. I like that there's also vocabulary. We'll be reading, or we'll refer to page 55 in the Little House book for the word ravine. I always read the little section to them, reread that little section to them where it's that word, and then they'll write it in their notebook. Let me show you, ouch, I'll show you one of their notebooks. So this is what we're doing. This is Peter's notebook. So we had already did some studying about grizzly bears, and then he did kind of like a report about grizzly bears. They watched a bunch of different little videos. They did some words to know. They wrote some vocabulary words. We have some more vocabulary words. So we're just keeping a notebook, and every day we just put our entries right into this one notebook. So everything is there. They can look back. They can look at the Bible verses that they copied. They can look at the vocabulary that they did. We talked about density and did a little science experiment. They were talking about a brindle bulldog. We watched a video on how to draw a bulldog and then also define the word brindle. A brindle is actually a coloring. I thought it was actually a type of animal, but it's more of a coloring. They drew how Laura described Jack Frost in the book. And we're just kind of working our way through. So they keep a notebook. Maria is over here. She wants to show her notebook as well. Most recently, we were working on owls and how far they can turn their head.
And owls can turn their head 270 degrees, but I can turn my head 182 degrees.
And
then I did a picture.
so then she colored a picture of an owl, and that is, do you remember what kind of owl that is?
Barred owl.
Barred owl, right. A lot of times people use the word barn and barred interchangeably, but they are actually two different species of owl. And so then she was writing up a report on their behavior, and look at that, all ready for today for vocabulary words. Today in the afternoon, we are going to be pulling weeds again. I'm sure you already saw that video I did a day in the life, maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago already, where we were pulling weeds, and we're going to be doing it again. So there's a weed called stick tight, and it's actually blooming right now, which makes it very easy to see, but also means that it's going to be seeding out shortly, and Warren doesn't want those in the cranberry bed. So we are going to be going out after lunch today. So I'm trying to kind of work through everything that needs to be done here, like laundry and stuff like that. I mean, in a perfect world, well, maybe not a perfect world, because I guess it just depends on who you are and your style. I don't mind jumping back and forth between things, like doing some homeschool, and then once they're kind of settled and taking some time doing their math workbooks or math computer or computer math, then, you know, I'll jump over to the laundry area and do laundry. I mean, we have a ranch style home, so that makes it easy to, I'm always on like the same level, but I kind of jump back and forth trying to get some things done. You know what, I have to look at that dress to see if that stain came out. I guess what I'm just saying to you is that sometimes you jump back and forth, and if that's your style, that's okay. One thing I do try to work with my kids is that they have a book to read. It's not always, they're not always perfect with this, and I'm not always perfect with making sure that they have that. But if they have a book that they are currently reading, then while I am like kind of jumping back and forth between kids and they're sort of in that waiting period, they have a book, they can at least stay where we are and just kind of read a couple pages in their chapter book and not run off. Because once they run off, that is a lot harder to get them back on track. All right, I need to find that dress, check the stain, and then go check some math for Peter.
Archivus. Yep. Entry wounds. Yep, we might call them.
Yeah, muzzle in archery class. I don't want to shoot the muzzle where they kick so much.
I have things going on the stove for lunch right now, and I wanted to have some corn on the cob with our supper tonight. We are going to do some meatballs and gravy. It's one of the freezer meals that I put together that I made for harvest, but I'm going to use it for tonight. Warren, did I tell you that already today, that Warren wants us all to go out and pull weeds with him this afternoon? So I'm not going to be in, and I don't know how long that project is going to take us. Like, is he thinking it's going to be an hour? Is he thinking it's going to take us 3 hours? I don't know. So anyway, I thought I'm going to get the corn pulled right now while lunch is getting ready to go, so that when we get in for supper tonight, we can just boil up the water and then start shucking the corn. And we don't have to have that extra step of picking corn too. Well, let me give you a little overview though quick of the garden. So you can see dill has already gone to seed, and it's pretty much done. I have a couple way over there that I've still been kind of picking off of in case. I've been trying to keep it kind of going in case I want to do any more pickles. They're pretty much done here. You can see they're pretty much yellowed all the way down. I'm not really getting much more for cucumbers right now. And I should have pulled in the spring or in the early summer when I saw the morning glory popping up. I should have pulled it, but at the time when it's little, you're like, oh, the morning glory is so pretty when it blooms. You know, when you come out here actually in the morning, it's just so beautiful. And I didn't pull it, and now I've been kicking myself for it, because every time I come out here I end up having to pull a big clump because it is trying to just choke out everything. And I think that might be one of the things with the cucumbers this year. I think the Morning Glory was really trying to choke it out. Look at those red onions. I don't know, can you see those over there? The red onions grew enormous, enormously this year. And I have some peppers. It looks like I have one that needs to be picked here. It's getting some kind of, something is chewing on it. That's a bummer. I have some other peppers that are getting, oh, there they are, getting a nice size. Broccoli, I've had a number of pickings of broccoli, and it looks like I have more broccoli to pick here. Some of it still looks really good, and some of it's actually starting to flower. I have a number of tomatoes to pick yet today. The plants are really starting to go downhill, but that's just what happens to tomatoes. Corn though, that's what I came down here for, and I can hear Peter calling me, which means that something must be boiling on the stove, and I better get back up there.
Peter, I need this one.
Yeah, like a wallpaper. Here you go, Joe. That's yours. I got it all ready for you already. Okay? But you need to pour your own milk? You want it?
Yagui.
You're hungry?
Yagui.
No, say, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
It's 1:45 now. We're all finished with lunch, and I guess we pretty much have things cleaned up. We do have to do the dishes yet, but that's going to have to happen later today. I need to get out and water my flowers because it is about 85 degrees, and it's so windy today. Everything is going to dry. But I did just want to show you here. This is one of the freezer meals that Emily and I put together. It is homemade meatballs in cream of mushroom soup gravy. And so I just cut the Ziploc bag right off of it, threw that in the garbage, and I'm putting this in here frozen. I'm just going to put it on low. I'm going to be outside for a while, so I really don't know. What I'm trying to say here is if I would be in the house, I would put this on high to really start in on the thawing process. But since I'm going to be outside, I'm just going to keep it on low, and then hopefully the pulling stick tights doesn't take the entire afternoon. Warren thinks that we can probably get it done in about an hour and a half if we're all diligent in working at it. But if there's slow pokes and complaining, it might take longer. So we'll see. Just in case we're out for quite a while, I'm going to keep it on low, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And now that I just made noodles for lunch, I realize I'm going to make egg noodles again for supper to put the mashed potatoes and the gravy over. But it's all good. We're also going to do the corn on the cob, which I already picked from the garden before lunch. Okay, here we go. This is kind of goofy. This isn't where I normally sit, but I'm on the tailgate. I don't know how that happened, but I guess I didn't get out here fast enough. Woo, we're going really fast.
Maria has the smallest feet along with Peter and Joe. So like if they could get these, I'm gonna try to go after these bigger bunches. But when you're in the bed, pick up your feet so we're not crushing cranberries.
So this yellow flower here, although it's pretty, it's in the wrong place. So this is a stick tight, and the reason that we're going for it right now is because once the flower is done, then it makes like these little, the seed is actually, has like 2 little prongs on it, and those little prongs will, I don't know, they just make, they're kind of problematic during harvest, aren't they? They stick to everybody's clothes. They stick.
Yeah, they'll stick into your waders.
Yeah.
And you'll never get them out. And they'll, when you rake the bed, they'll fall off. And they'll stick to the cranberries. And then when you wash them, they just won't fall off.
I see. And then they also, obviously, those seeds just grow more next year. So this is a good time to pull them for us because we can see exactly where they are, and you can kind of watch that you got it done. So this is what we're going for. There's a pail of stick tights. And I know that I'm going to get questions about what? You're going to have to jump, or just fold your plants down so that they're not So I know I'm going to get questions about people saying, well, if you're walking out there, aren't you crushing fruit? And yeah, we are. I can hear the cranberries popping under my feet. We do try to stay on the fertilizer run where there's less fruit. That's where Warren drives the four-wheeler down. So there is less fruit there. But you do crush some, but also when you step down, let me see if I can do this without setting my pail down here. But when you do step down real gently, so we step high knees, step down gently, you kind of make a little bit of, it's kind of cushiony too, but you just do your best. So we step, like I said, high knees, step gentle, and we just keep saying to everybody, don't drag your feet, don't drag your feet, don't drag your feet. All right, well, we're done with that. What did you think of that, Maria?
Hot, but it feels like it went quick. Oh, we missed some on the edge.
Oh, did we really?
Two on the edge.
There, too.
We on a different bed.
Oh my gosh, we just saw some that we missed. We missed a bunch back there.
Did you see them?
They were all on the edge. Well, that was good. Sam actually is going to go back and get them. He listened. That was a good eye, Maria, that you saw those. So you thought it was hot?
Yeah.
What else?
It felt like it was forever at the time, and it looked like we had so much to go and so little that we did. But now it feels like it went by so quick. It feels like we did it so quick.
Because we did.
Yeah,
I think it only took us 45 minutes.
At the time, it felt forever.
I'm in town now, and I actually came in because I went and got a manicure, which was kind of fun. I went with this really bright, sort of a pinkish, orangish red kind of a color. Anyway, and when he asked what like shape I liked, I said, just do whatever. And so anyway, he did like this kind of oval, he called it. I like it. So I'm gonna head into Goodwill, and because I don't have any calls from home, which means everything's going smoothly there, I'm gonna head into Goodwill and just kind of look around a little bit, see what I can find. I have a couple things in mind of what I'm looking for, but we'll see what I find. All right, here's what I picked up from Goodwill. So I did find some little shoes for Maria with, you know, closed toe. We're getting to that time of year, and it's so much, it's just a lot less expensive to buy shoes if I can find in still really good shape. I mean, these don't even really look, no, they still have the tags on them. So they weren't even worn, and $5.99. And then I did pick up this little book, 99 cents, for my first catechism, Catholic Faith for Little Ones. I thought that this would be a great book to add to our, just to kind of like the little box of toys at Grandma and Grandpa's house. And this would be a great little book to read to Colt and Aisley. And it's a board book, so pages aren't going to get ripped. Marks all the boxes. So tonight for supper, Warren made some rice, and we have corn on the cob, and we're having the meatballs. And it actually worked out really well to put this in completely frozen in the crock pot after lunch on low. Then I did have it turned up to high for an hour and a half, then turned it back to low. And it is, well, it's 10 to 7 now, so we're eating kind of late, but he saved some for other people too, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, that's good.
Wait.
Okay, that's good.
All right, go take some rice.
No rice. Not rice, sorry.
You're gonna put it on your rice? No, you're gonna put it next to your rice?
Sorry, guys. Really sorry, guys.